What's up, guys? Have you ever opened a video game and gone through it and realized that, damn, I'm suddenly getting addicted? This is not good. For me, that was League of Legends back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean 10 years ago, 2014. That it's a little too long to be playing one game. But it kind of begs the question, why do I keep coming back to this video game? You know what I mean? And I kind of just wanted to make a video on that, just for fun, you know? I just wanted to explain how we could have even gotten to this point. So to do that, first we can just go ahead and talk about like what it was like when you first started playing. Like, fuck it, it's probably the general roadmap for most people who start playing this game. So essentially what happens is you play your first couple games, you're kind of not into it, you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? What's even happening? Usually I like to give it like 5 games for most people that start League of Legends. I'm like, hey, play 5 games. If you don't like it after that, just fucking uninstall it, dip. But after you get like 5 games in, you start getting a little bit of a hang of it, right? You're like, you know what? Okay, I'm playing a little more. And once you start like figuring out everything and you're like, okay, I'm getting kills now. I'm suddenly beating people up. I know what to build now a little more because I looked up a guide. I know what I'm doing when it comes to farming and stuff. When you start getting that stuff, it gets a little more exciting. You're like, you know what? I kind of want to play a little more. And that's kind of what happened to me, essentially. And I'm going to be so real with you guys. My grades literally suffered for it, like completely, bro. I was a 14-year-old kid. I should not have been on the internet at all. In fact, I had unmoderated access, and now I'm fucked up as it is. You know, kids, we're always just going on the internet, watching ISIS beheading videos, Mexican cartel shit. It's all fucking wild. It was the Wild West back in the day, and it still kind of is. That's for another time, though. Right now, we're going back to League of Legends. So why don't we come back to it, right? At some point, I actually stopped playing it, right? It was like a whole year. And let me tell you, best year of my life, guys. Quit League of Legends right now. Best thing you can do for yourself. But at the same time, what brought me back in, essentially, was the replayability. Every game, essentially, is different. And that's the crazy part, right? Like, you're like, okay, there's a lot of champions, right? So there's also variety on top of that. If you end up getting good at one champion, you're like, okay, I have like 150 other champions to get through to learn and stuff. And that's kind of like what the beauty of the game is, right? Like, you kind of have variety everywhere, and you can do whatever you want. Something that's not the best is the community. But with any game that has like 100 million plus players, you're gonna get a mixed bag, right? Because there's so many people playing it, and you know, when it comes to random chance, it's just statistically so that you'll find shitheads on any game, really, any online game especially. But when it does come to League of Legends, you might actually find some really cool people, like I have. I've made friends off that video game, which is kind of crazy to say. Cause it's like, go outside, you fucking endured little brown bastard. No, but it goes to show that, like, you know, when it comes to like a big game, people can get invested into it. And honestly, the only reason why I came back after that year I stopped playing it is because of my friends, right? Like, I seldom nowadays play League of Legends by myself. It's more of a friend thing, right? And like, you've seen the Magikarp use flies, the dark mains of YouTube. If you don't know who they are, they're League of Legends YouTubers essentially, and big respect to them, bro. It's a hustle. You know, we still have Trick2G out there, Tyler One still making it all up. They're holding the game down, at least in terms of the public side of it. And Riot Games knows that, and they seem to somewhat appreciate it by, like, you know, they give them like accounts, like hey, have all these skins. But you see them basically coming back, essentially. Like, Magikarp Use Fly just recently dropped a video, right? That was a blast from the past. I used to watch them like 2014, man. Like, the League tubers, man. That was a time. And let's be real, bro. I didn't. There have been some P words that have came out of League of Legends, but not as much as like Minecraft or like fucking, I don't know, Smash or some shit like that. You know, we got the Hashinshins, we got the top lane motherfuckers. You know what they say about top lane. If you played the game, You know what they say about top laners, like Jax. Oh my god, bro. But like I said, 100 million plus players, it's gonna be a mixed bag. But okay, I'm not making a good case about why we're coming back here. But yeah, it's like I said, you see them coming back, and essentially they're making videos on it still. Like Dark Maiden, honestly, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch a Arena stream. And on top of that, I'm gonna be so real with you. Arena has revitalized me on League of Legends. It's a new game mode that they dropped. It's a 2v2 game mode. I'll show some clips later in a little bit when I talk about it. But oh my god, like they've renovated. Something you have to know about League of Legends is that, you know, you're playing the same game, right? Like it's not different, but they do things to keep it alive, right? They keep it going. They drop new skins. Okay, let's not talk about the skins. Skin is another fucking concept for now. But they do drop a lot of skins. They drop new champions every once in a while, and it actually comes pretty frequent, more likely than not, which is a good thing. Even though you have like 150 plus champions, like there's a champion out there for everyone, really. Like everyone's got like their top one, like the first one they started with, and also their favorite. Like my first one, Aatrox. See, even like just talking about it right now, like what am I even talking about, bro? Like first champion and stuff, like this game fosters memories. It's good at doing that, especially if you're like playing with your friends. It's a 5v5 game, and you squad up with 5 people, and there you go. You're just having a blast with your friends. Like in the end, it all just comes down to that for me at the very least. I keep coming back to League of Legends because of my friends, and I don't mind it, to be honest, because I have a way more healthy relationship with it now. Back when I was like 14, man, here's the thing, right? If you're young, don't start playing this video game. When you have time and you're already making money, you're doing what you wanted to do, then start playing this game. If you can't moderate yourself, it's not worth the hassle of losing all your grades over it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, especially when it comes to like ranked League of Legends, people get into it, right? I myself, I've never been like a ranked player, which is funny because like you've been playing for a decade, you don't play ranked. Like what the fuck are you doing? And that all stems from just being a for fun player. I like playing this game for fun, nothing else to it. I don't. On top of that, the sweat community is a little crazy, to be honest. Like I know if you've seen some League of Legends streams, sometimes you'll see the chat and they're popping off, man. You heard my chair squeak, but. And just like with any game, right, it's going to come with a little bit of jank. And, you know, $1 billion company and all. But, you know, with $1 billion companies, there comes, like, development overhead and all that stuff. Like, they have to make sure that each function that they drop is, like, rigorously tested by QA and all that stuff, right? So it's not like... When you see the bugs, you're like, okay, $1 billion company, blah, 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 you know what I mean? But, like, there's still a process that has to be taken at the same time. Overall, like, they've seemed to have cared about their community for the most part. Recently though, they've been kind of falling off on that. I don't know what it is. Like the client's been really buggy. Just in the past like day, I think I've experienced the most bugs I've ever seen in my life in one match. Right? Like I've been playing this game for 10 years. That was the most buggy I've seen it. Like I was playing in an arena, and when you die in an arena, you have a chance to get revived. So my partner ended up dying, and I went over to go revive them. But as I was standing on top of it, nothing was happening. I had to move up away from the actual circle where I was at to actually revive them. I got a visual bug. Like, shoot. And then before that, there was some other stuff too, man. It was a fucking crazy match. I don't know what it was, but you know, they're just dropping changes, I think, and you know they hadn't had like a full amount of time to test it. And at the same time, it's also like when you get a function out there, you're pretty much using your players as the play testers, essentially, and you're learning from that way. But yeah, fuck it. Let's show you some clips, bro. At this point, like I think I've pretty much made my point. I keep coming back to this video game because it's the friends. It's just the friends, and it's one of those games that's like, you know, it's fun to just pick up every once in a while. You're like, all right, I kind of have this in my back pocket. There's 100 million players, so most likely that if you find some outside, there's a chance that they do play League of Legends, right? It's just statistically possible. Of course, that's globally. It's not just the United States. The United States has a population of 330 million or something like that. But yeah, no, they have a really big player base. And I guess something before we go to the clips too that we can discuss is their acquisition, or their not acquisition, but majority stakeholder with Tencent. I've kind of noticed that once that happened, they've become a lot more skin oriented. They're kind of dropping like the gacha versions of the skins. Personally, I'm like, okay, it's whatever. But like they recently dropped a $500 Ari skin, which is one of the champions, and you might be looking at yourself like, can you repeat how much that was again? $500. You heard me right. $500 for a skin. Like, that's pretty fucking insane. And I don't know, man. It's I don't know what they've been doing this year. Something's been happening on the sidelines, but you know, the monster creatures are getting a little bit of love now, at the very least. Like, Skarner just dropped. I fucking love that shit. Especially in the arena, man. He's popping the fuck off. But that being said, let's go out to the clips. All right, let's go see what I'm talking about here. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of the jank, right? Like, we go over here. So I was playing with my friend. Sound off, because I do some ugly fucking. I don't like how I sound. I'll be so real with you guys. All right, let's watch me. So this is my guy. It's the Blitzcrank, the robot guy, and my friend is the AD carry. And let's see what happens here. I'm walking up. I'm gonna go ahead and slow this down a little bit. 0.47. All right, you see? Okay, so I'm walking up, and this character right here, the one that I'm playing, the yellow guy, he essentially has a hook. And if you shoot it from a distance and it hits a champion, it'll bring him to you. He goes boink. And so you see me here. I'm gearing up to pull that ADC. You can see my mouse hovering it. That's what this sword is right here. And he's highlighted essentially. So I walk up. I'm walking beside the minion. And if we go over here, you can see an actual like ability indicator. Oop, I was going forward. I just kind of ruined what happened, but let's see it. Right here. Right here. Okay, I was trying to pull the Alistar apparently, because he was going to get out of range. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I do sometimes. But as you can see, very clear cut. Very clear path, right? Like, I'm gonna hit him. So then let's go ahead and play it and see what happens. I pull it out and it tugs the minion next to me. What's that about? Of course, like, it's a hitbox thing, of course, but also like when this happens to you, you're like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like you get a little frustrated. You're like, fuck, and you have those moments in League of Legends, right? Like, you'll always be like, hey, you'll be proud of moments, you'll be sad at moments, you'll be angry at moments. You're like, but that's not the only thing too, right? Like, sometimes it's kind of like gameplay logic jank. Other times it's your own jank. Let's go ahead and see this. Let me close this. All right, so this was from yesterday. Actually, I was playing with my friend. We were playing arenas. That's the kind of game mode I'm addicted to right now. It's the 2v2s essentially. And you get augments. It's a whole thing, man. Like, you can keep playing it with a whole bunch of different champions. And just kind of theory crap with it. It's top tier, I gotta say. But let's go ahead and watch this one. So as you can see, with this map, there is a pond right here. You cannot go in the pond. So unless this Lotus thing is open right here, and you can walk over it. But once you walk over it, it'll close up. But there is also another way to get across platforms, and that's these red things right here, and I'll show you in a second. So when the game starts, it pops up like this. And as you can see, I'm this scorpion guy. These two guys are very big. This guy is Darius and this guy is Gragas. And so these guys, they pack a punch, and this is just little Timo. You think of little Timo as like he's just a little guy, you know? You can look at him, he's just a little guy. That's it. And you can see I turn around, I'm walking, and I accidentally, you can guess what happens here. Like, okay, this freeze frame tells you exactly what you need to know, right? He's right on the edge of the fucking plant that blasts you across to the other side. I'm on the other side. I'm facing directly at it right now. Like, look at this. He, you know, I don't know what happened, man. I accidentally clicked it. Look, boop. This was the moment I knew I fucked up. Like, suddenly, my partner was shot across the map right in front of them, and I was shot back. And I was like, And you can see my partner gets pretty much destroyed. And one shot. No chance to live at all. And there's me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and try and res. So sometimes it's jank created by yourself. And you know what? We got more of that, actually. Let's see this here. I was playing with my friend again. And as you can see, I'm like, hey, like, I'm playing this game with my friends, man. Like, it's the best way to play it, honestly. And you can see here, this champion right here is Aurelia. So she has an ability where she drops 2 pins down. If you're in between those 2 pins, you get stunned. And you have an ability called Flash. If you flash, you hop out wherever direction you're pointing, right? You get automatically just blip. So I'm like, okay, she's coming at me. That's Kim Jong Big Bong. There are some creative usernames in this game. All right, you ready? Let's see what happens here. I have a feeling you might be able to guess after I explain that, but as you can see, she drops it on me, and I'm like, okay, my first instinct is to flash. But it doesn't show me where my mouse is right now, but let's see what happens. Boom. Let's get an instant replay on that, huh? Let's go back. Let's go right back. I'm spamming it. Ah, there's my mouse right there. My mouse was on the bottom of my screen. There it goes. She drops it, and then I flash into it. Even though, look where my mouse is. I would consider this still my fault. I'm still kind of it's too close, right? You know what I mean? I don't know. It probably procced this one versus where this one is, because you know it's after the flash anyways. But it's a pretty instant like ability, and I flashed right into the ability and I got stunned and I get murdered. One shot even. Let's go ahead and let's go full. Let's get a full clip on this one. Boom. Murdered, murked, destroyed, massacred, ended. My life destroyed and unable to move. So I've only shown you the bad stuff, right? But then what kind of like gives you that adrenaline rush is when you do something kind of crazy, you know? You look at your hands and you're like, am I a fucking bot? Did I just fucking do that? Let's watch this. So this game, I'm playing this person right here, Kiana, and she just kind of has a Hulu. And let's just leave it at that. And you can see here, I killed an enemy here, with the help of Ash. It says right here. So I kill one enemy, and I just go in. Listen, bro. I'm popping them. I'm popping them. I'm popping them. I'm popping them. So like, what the fuck just happened? And you get this big thing that just says pentakill right on top when you kill all 5 of them yourself. So, you know, of course I had my teammates right there, but let's get an instant replay on that. Uninterrupted. So I go in, I killed this Graves, then I hop over, I kill the Jace, then it goes Kale, then it goes the Lee Sin, and then the Misfortune. Like, and when you do that, you're like, holy fuck. Like, do you see how fast? These clips are really fast too, by the way. Like, look, how long did it take me to get that pentakill, right? It was like less than 10 seconds. Like, they happen so quick that you're like, oh shit, oh shit. Your mouse is moving everywhere, you're going all frantically, and you're like, I have control. I'm winning. That's the way to do it. You do some crazy shit like that. And that's kind of what gives you that adrenaline spike. Everything happens so quick when something happens, right? Sometimes like the games can take a little while, but when you get those like picture perfect moments like these, and when you get a pentakill like these, like it just completely drives something, you know? It makes you feel different. Like you're built different, one might even say. All right, and now let's go with this last clip right here. Last clip, and then we're gonna end the video because it's going a little too long in my opinion. All right, so this one, I'm playing this guy named Ivern. He's a support champion. Keep that in mind. So he does not do that much damage. He's just a guy that gives shields, and he gets empowered autos in bushes. So as you can see here, let's just watch it fully through. So I'm getting clearly jumped right here by 2 people. But my partner, his name is Karthus. It's Tampon Collector right here. He presses his ult button. His ult does... no matter where any of the 5 champions are on the map, he will do damage to them. Like this. Boom. So he ulted, and that kind of gave me a chance to actually win the game here. To win this moment. So you can see right here, this Soraka, this person, and this Pyke. They're both low now. And you know what? I got some health. So you know what? I turn around. I'm like, you know what? This is my chance to fight. So if we saw that, I want to do that one more time. Oh, Lord. Let's go back a little more. So that ult would have executed me. But I flash over. See, like, it happened so instantly, right? Let's go back. I hit him there. He tries to ult me. I flash it. I pop Ashe. That wasn't even a Soraka. That was Ashe. And then I kill Pyke with the shield at the end. I get a double kill. It happened in like 2 seconds. But it gave me such a fucking rush because I was like, ah! You know what I mean? Like, it does that to you. And that was the last clip I had. But League of Legends, man, I don't know. It's a plight. It's a good thing. It's fun. It's infuriating a lot of the time. Sometimes it's buggy as fuck, especially lately. They make some stupid decisions sometimes with like skins and whatnot. Like their pricing won't match like the work that was put into the actual skin, and people will point it out, right? And sometimes they'll do something to change it, sometimes they won't, because now they kind of have shareholders to appease, and so like I'd say they still kind of care about their community, but at the end of the day, they're a big company now, and they have shareholders that they need to show that they're still making money at the same time. And I figure that that's probably what's driving them nowadays, but you know, it's just the things about being a big company at this point, right? But yeah, like League of Legends, you play it for the friends, you get mad at it, and that's about it. But yeah, if you guys like relate to any of the situations that I've pretty much described here, if you guys feel it, if you guys got fucked up by League of Legends, let me know in the comments, bro. Like, did your grades get ruined? Were you season 3 player like me back in 2014? You probably there are a lot of people who've been playing longer than me, right? I was a kid back in the day. I was 14. And now I'm 25. Oh my god. Yeah, we're getting old. It's happening, guys. And I'm going to leave you off with this comment. In 1 year, it's going to be 2025, and that is going to be a decade after 2015. So 2015 was almost a decade ago. I hope you guys know that. Have a nice day. Peace.